Thank you for watching a special episode of On Second Thought. This is Adam Wagner, the director. We're going to ask courtroom observers of the Michael Jackson trial to tell us what they think about the case. Is Tom Sneddon a malicious prosecutor? Will any justice be done in this case? Is Michael Jackson completely innocent? Is Michael Jackson in a kangaroo court? Michael Jackson fans, speak out.
More than 200 years ago, Americans fought a revolution against big government.
He has erected a multitude of new offices and has sent hither swarms of officials to harass our people and eat out their substance.
George III and his bureaucrats taxed and controlled their lives until the people said, enough.
Welcome to On Second Thought, where William Wagner gives you information that ought to give you second thoughts about the unconstitutional acts of our local, state, and federal government. I am Megan Wells. Now, producer and host of On Second Thought, the good guy in the white hat, William Wagner.
Thank you, Megan Wells. Thank you very much for that good introduction. I'm William Wagner, the guy in the good white hat. Asking you if you lost control of your government. Is government being abusive? We think so. We're bringing you the third week in a row of a Michael Jackson's fans report about child molestation. And we're going to let you talk to some people, myself included, who are actually witnessing the trial. And you're not hearing on the major networks what's really happening day by day in the trial. We think here, On Second Thought, is a good place to let you hear from people who are actually in the courtroom and see what's going on. First, I want to introduce Sharon Sidney, who's sitting on my left here. Sharon, you've watched at least, 20 days of the trial?
Yes, much more than 20 days.
What of significance happened this week that you were in watching the trial of Michael Jackson in Santa Maria, California?
The judge made the ruling to allow the 1108 evidence.
The hearsay.
As you said, the hearsay evidence.
And
they
who
are
predicted the
allowing
judge
it.
would...
You predicted it. But I decided to take the judge at his word. So it's not like I was placing a bet or anything, which I don't bet. But yeah, I mean, I took him at his word. He said if the case wasn't strong enough, he wasn't going to allow it. And everyone knows the case is not strong enough, and he still allowed it. He still allowed it.
And why did I tell you that would happen?
You told me that would happen. I'm not going to say why you said it, but
Well,
you told me that it was.
I'll tell you.
Right.
I'll tell you why. It's because I've made a case study of Judge Rodney S. Melville for at least the last 12, 13 years, and he's what I call the good old boys hanging judge. When the prosecutors want somebody hung by the neck, they make sure Rodney S. Melville's on the bench. Now, it started out, and you saw that in the first show we did. It sounded like Judge Melville was trying to be fair. It looked he was cutting some objections and sustaining for the defense and some for the prosecution. But when it came down to critical things, he cuts all in favor of the prosecution. And I've watched this judge take kids away from good dads, and I think he's setting it up for Michael Jackson to lose Paris and Prince in a Los Angeles courtroom. He's letting all the garbage evidence in there, and that's part of the reason I said he will let it in, even though you heard and I heard the three children from the same family, all known liars, known to have stolen things from J.C. Penney, got caught. True?
True. Well,
And
all of them didn't steal from JCPenney's, but
well, they're all in the same family.
They all admitted to lying.
They all
under
admitted
oath.
to lying under oath. And when one of them got caught lying under oath, he said the
court reporter
made a mistake. Hello.
Yeah.
Court reporters do not make mistakes. And when he said that, I saw Judge Melville's eye flinch, you know, the little involuntary twitch of the eye, which tells you even Melville is now worried because the kids look so uncredible. Nevertheless, with no credible witnesses, Melville let the hearsay evidence, which under normal law, you cannot bring in hearsay. If you say to me, I heard Tom Sneddon say this to so-and-so, you've got to get Tom Sneddon on the stand.
Yeah.
What you're hearing him say, you can't testify to.
Yeah. But what's even crazier about it is some of the witnesses that the hearsay evidence is coming in on, they're basically still friends with Michael Jackson. One recently got married at Neverland. You know, Macaulay Culkin. He and Macaulay Culkin are still friends.
And they're going to
allow witnesses to come in and contradict their word.
Right,
you
they're
know,
going to contradict the victim's word.
Yeah, it's like, forget what you say. We've got witnesses who says otherwise. And how can your word be greater than mine for something concerning me? It doesn't make sense.
It doesn't
and I don't
make
understand
sense.
why he's going to allow
This
that.
is why I watch, every day I watch Tom Sneddon and the other kangaroos hop in to prosecute. But did I say hop in? Oh my. I let the truth out. I'm sorry. I let them hop in. There I did it again. I watched them hop into the courtroom every day. And of course, Judge Melville hops in from his little sanctuary in the back. And they sit down and they begin this kangaroo trial. And I think you said it on an interview I did with you 3 weeks ago. This is beyond a railroad job. This is a corporate conspiracy with many different players, each looking, saying, what can I gain from putting Michael Jackson down? And the kids, of course, their mother has, when the mother, I can't say the name of the kids, but these three children.
The mother of the accuser.
And his brother and sister, when they were all caught, and she was still married to her biological father of the children, when they were caught stealing from JCPenney, she apparently then accused the security guards of molesting her.
That's correct.
Hello? This strikes like zero credibility, people. If she's allowed, and then she brought a lawsuit, and JCPenney said, here's some bucks. We're just going to give you some money, go away, because we don't want the bad PR.
Right.
Now that was good for JCPenney, but it taught this family of liars and thieves that they could bring false lawsuits and get money.
I don't know if that's what taught them. They may have known long before.
Oh yeah, they knew before.
Too.
But this said, hey, we made $100,000 or some dollars off JCPenney, even when we got caught stealing. So hey, and I think JCPenney was required to drop the charges as part of the deal, wasn't it?
I think it's somewhere close to $160,000. No charges were filed against the family.
Yeah, so the charges.
At least thus far, they did settle. So I guess obviously
they settled.
there's no charges.
What it taught these children is you can lie, and mom will make some money. Isn't this a good system? Now, these are the star witnesses for Tom Sneddon and Mr.
Zonen?
Zonen. Yeah,
I believe it's
zoring
Paul
out.
Zonen. I'm not sure, but I think that's the name.
He's in a twilight zone all by itself. What else did defense attorney Tom Sneddon catch Zonen doing? Just the other day, remember?
Caught Zonen doing?
Yeah, remember Dr. Katz came up with this big file, among which was his grand jury statement?
Oh, okay. Actually, yeah, what happened, Mr. Mesereau, not
Mesereau.
Mr. Sneddon,
I'm sorry, Mr.
Mesereau.
Mesereau.
Yeah,
Defense
he noticed them with several papers. It was like, his own little portfolio or something. He had lots of papers, and Mesereau was like, well, can I see that? And the Judge
Melvin said, you can look at
grants
it.
him permission to go look. And then later, when it's time for cross-examination, he asked them about him, and he's like, well, these are my notes, and he admits to part of the notes belonging to one of the prosecutors, which I believe it was Mr. Zonen. I'm not 100% sure right now, but I believe it was Mr. Zonen. And he said that he was told, if asked, to say those were my notes. So he's like, they must have been gotten in there inadvertently when we were meeting and going over,
right.
things
So
that
he made a Xerox copy with the prosecutor's notes on what to stress and what to bring out, and gave that to the witness. Okay. How close do you have to get to